Hey, what's going on? Got Rev in the house and Tweet, both the
What's
homies.
happening?
What's going
Good
on?
boys.
Rev, how was your week, man? You seemed a little rough last weekend. We'll get into that, but how was your week after that?
Week was good, man. Really good, really good. So getting towards the end of the school year, had our sports banquet. That went really well. And last
Nice.
night I found myself at a middle school dance. So I was getting down a little bit, if y'all can believe that.
Oh
Having
no.
flashbacks, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, living through my son's life.
Rev,
But
man, I saw on Facebook you guys broke ground on a new building. Congratulations, man.
thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
That's
Appreciate that.
awesome.
Yep.
Not just
Yep.
that, but like
All is
your
well.
50th anniversary or something crazy like that. What was it, like 25, something 30? What was it?
No, we're taking my wife away next week to Hawaii for our 20th anniversary. So, which our anniversary is not actually till December, but she's only been bugging me since we got married to go to Hawaii. So, 20 years later, that ain't bad, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah,
Solid.
man. How you been, Tweet?
Been good, man. Been good. Just work, work, work. Trying to save some money. Been good though, man. Kids are doing good in school. They're actually I think the last time I was on stream, man, they were still in private school, but it just wasn't working out where they were at. So they're actually in public school and thriving. So
Great.
they're good. Life's good at the moment, man.
Was that the little side eye you
Right.
just gave him right there? I saw you peek off screen for a minute with like the dad look in your eye.
Oh no, there's nobody here, just a dog.
Well, as me and you have been working and maybe, well, at least me getting fatter, I've noticed that coach has been working out a lot and becoming a professional kickboxer.
Yeah. At
We're
38,
gonna
yeah, at
send
38 years old, just picked it up and I'm going to be a professional tomorrow.
we're, we're gonna
I like,
send
I
him
like
we're gonna send him to Thailand. Tweet. That's what we're gonna do against old
John,
Tom Poe.
Uh,
John Van Damme style.
Yeah.
He's kicking the concrete poles.
oh man. No, guys, I did it to like get in shape. I saw it open there in the city next to me here. Saw it open, and I just really liked it and I've been going ever since, more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Um
Well, I mean, what's awesome about it, Coach, too, is that it's not just you going. It's like now your whole family's wanting to do it. You started with you and your wife, and now your
mhm.
kids are looking at you like, "Can we do it?" So like, it's good, man. It's a
Yeah.
activity for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let's get off the video games and let's go to the
Yeah.
gym. It's good for them, for everybody. So that's what's up.
Yeah, actually May
That's cool.
22nd we're going to start a class. I'm going to teach the class for 8 to 12-year-olds. So on May 22nd my kids are going to get in. I think last I heard there was like 12 kids signed up, something like that. Pretty good amount.
Very
So
cool.
Sweet, man.
coach
Awesome,
just
brother.
won't be a name on stream anymore. We're getting back into it for the fun.
Do we call you? Do we call you Sensei, or
Okay.
what do we call
Oh,
you,
we're
Coach?
coach, baby. We're coach. I don't know what all those
Just
terms
Coach.
are that they used. They use crew in Muay Thai as coach teacher. I guess it's directly translates to teacher, but no,
I
I'm
mean,
I, I'm coach.
we could go Tom Poe or something like that. You know, it could.
The corner
uh, no, it's a good time though. Getting into fighting at 38. Will I ever make UFC? Probably not. Will I ever fight for fun? Absolutely. Like, why not? Like, go fight
Awesome.
somebody and see what we got.
Yeah.
I I know you've never met me in person, Rev, but I'm a real long
You're
guy.
Use the
you're a big
jab, Coach. Stay on the
you're
outside. Don't do what
you're
Ryan Garcia did.
you're a big guy, Coach. You 6'3".
I'm a little taller than that. I'm super long, man, and skinny. So
I'm
like
about
I'm gonna.
6'3". Coach is probably about 6'4.5".
Nice.
He's got an inch or so on me, but he's a real lanky bastard. He's
Yeah, he
got
is.
long arms and long legs, so he can reach you from across the ring.
So what I'm gonna have to do is like come in real close, stay out of that reach and start grabbing ankles and stuff.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
probably
Yeah.
what I'm gonna have to do.
So yeah, if you can wrestle and you get a hold of me, you probably got me. Like I'm probably toast.
Okay. Yeah.
But if I
I
can
just
catch
have
you
my
with some
5 feet
punches,
of
we're in
chalk.
good
That's
shape.
all.
Oh man. All
What
right,
y'all think
guys.
about the draft, man?
Yep.
What's going on?
Man.
What's y'all's thoughts? Tweet. What's your thought on the draft, brother? Just as
I
a
mean,
whole,
I
how'd you
mean,
feel about it?
I know we were talking about this in the Discord like a week or two in advance, and I told y'all because I hadn't been on there in a while, but I had said that I really would like to take a D tackle at 26, and I posted three on there, and Mozzie was number one. So,
Nice.
and I was even okay with trading down to take one of them. Like if you want to trade out of the first, if all three are still there, trade out of the first and get some value for your pick. So overall, bro, I'm kind of happy. Well, I'm ecstatic about the Mozzie pick because I think that'll help everybody. I think that'll help Leighton Vander Esch the most. Vander Esch is best when he can go sideline to sideline, and when he's got guards and centers that can get to the second level and seal him off from doing that, that creates a problem for our defense. And I think Mozzie's going to occupy two guys. And it may not be his first year. It may be, it may be a little bit of a learning process, but he's a big ass dude. He's going to command double teams in his career, and I think that'll help Vander Esch flow sideline to sideline. It'll also free up some of our other guys, man. You're doubling Tank, then everybody else is getting one on ones. You're doubling Micah, then Tank and Mozzie. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doubling Mozzie, he's going to push the pocket because he's just a big ass dude. And when's the last time the Cowboys have had a defensive tackle? Like Leroy Glover is the last like noteworthy one that I can really go back and think of.
I from a whole, and I kind of said this like when we were talking and on Twitter and TikTok across the board. I thought it was a boring draft, but a useful draft. I think that was my immediate reaction when you were kind of doom and gloom about Mozzie. Like it's a pick that makes sense. The Chiefs were trying to trade up. This made me feel a lot better later that night when it came out that the Chiefs were trying to trade up to that pick to get him. Um, so other teams had him graded that high as well. Is it a sexy pick? Like, is it taking CD Lamb at 20 or whatever it was we got him at? It's not a sexy pick. He's a big guy. He's not gonna get 15 sacks a year. He's gonna protect LVE or Clark or whoever we have back there. It's not a sexy pick. it's a pick we needed in a range where he should have gone, right? So the value was not great, but where it should be. So it's okay. You tweet, you said A minus. I know you liked this pick beforehand. I was like, man, Mozzie, a one tech. It's the positional value that bothers me with it. I think more than anything. Like, is a one tech worth a first round draft pick? And this was my issue with taking a running back or a linebacker. You know, man, you're right though. Our rush defense has been bad, and if Mozzie can come in and immediately make it better, then it's worth the pick. And we fill a hole that we've been trying to fill, like you said, for 20 years. So as I look back on it, I like it more than I did at the time. It's still not a sexy pick. I'd give it like a B, I guess. It's what we needed and a solid value. The value was where it should be. Yeah. Well, Rev, I know Thursday when the pick was made, it was a little doom and gloom from you. TikTok and Twitter has told me your perception has changed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Went at 38, by the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I do. I do. Oh, you were all about Joey Porter. You were 100% on the Joey Porter train. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So to play devil's advocate to you guys a little bit here, the Rams won a Super Bowl with a really good run stopping one tech who at last I saw was still unemployed. So could we have just signed Ashawn Robinson and not drafted Mozzie first and gone with a Joey Porter if that's the way you wanted to go? Which we'll talk about that in a second tweet, which way we could have gone. But would would you have signed an Ashawn Robinson and gone a different direction? Tweet. I don't. He's a giant now, by the way. I had to Google it, but he's a giant. Mm-hmm. It's a lot cheaper. Mm-hmm. Re- oh, just bullied us. Just bullied us. Yep. Yeah, it was oh, who was it? CJ Anderson, by the way. Rev. Rev, I wanted to ask you, and I was thinking about this, and I did not Google or do any research on it, just trying to think back on my own. I mean, you guys are like me and have watched pretty much all the Cowboys games for the last like 20 years or so, right? Who was the last one tech we had that was a real difference maker? And I'm curious if you guys could name one that I couldn't, because I've got one in mind that was came to us from another team. But Rev, do you remember who the last one tech we had? That a true one tech that was a difference maker. It was a while back. I had to think pretty hard about this one. He was a stud though. He was a stud. Tweet, what about you? The last one tech. Do you have one? Candy was solid, but we were 3-4 then and he played end. So he Ratliff was good, but I see Ratliff another he did play the one tech, but he was a nose tackle in that 3-4. So I had Jason Ferguson. Ratliff might actually be the better answer, but Jason Ferguson was my in my head as the last true one tech we had that was a difference maker. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, he's a giant now. I googled it. He signed with the Giants in the meantime, so he is not available anymore. All right, so let me ask you this, and tweet lead us off with this. As the biggest Mozzie supporter and wanted him even before we took him, if he wasn't on the board when that pick 26 came up, who would you have taken instead? If you're the GM of the Cowboys, yeah, who would you be targeting at that point? Well, so let me read the picks off that immediately followed that. So you got Anton Harrison, Miles Murphy, Brian Brisset, Nolan Smith, that Felix guy I can't say his last name that Kansas City drafted, Joey Porter. What? Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna get into that tight end discussion here next. So, super fast. Yep, yep. Rev, going back, you were big on the Joey Porter pick. If we could have got him, looking back now, would you? And Mozzie's not on the board. Is Joey Porter your pick still? Mm-hmm. 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 Ugh. Get that bridge player in there. Mm-hmm. So I think weighing in on some of these guys that were named here, Nolan Smith, like yeah, I agree with Tweet, like that would have been the sexy pick, right? Get the electrifying 40 edge rusher. Does he bring anything to you that Sam Williams doesn't already bring that is already on the roster? Right, Dorrance Armstrong, and those guys are under contract, right? Sam Williams has another 3 years on his, so like it's not the same thing that we have going on at corner. Like we have edge rushers out there, so like I wouldn't have liked the Nolan Smith if he's the best player on your board. I guess like I'm a big BPA guy. Joey Porter, I like the pick. I guess so we discussed this a few times, Rev, when arguing over taking a running back in the first round compared to like tight end and wanting your first round pick to play, right? Is Joey Porter, if we draft him, like does he beat out Diggs? No. Does he beat out Gilmore? No. Does he beat out I can't remember his name. The slot corner we took last year that I'm blanking on right now. Names my kryptonite. Does he beat out Jordan Lewis? Like, is he number 5 on the depth chart? Our first round draft pick. I know that we're building towards next year with that pick and hoping that we get him in. And you do always need more corners. Tweets the expert at that. What the inside joke he was making there is that we used to run franchise modes before online was super popular, and he would go into a season with like 12 corners on his roster, like just absolutely crazy. So he would have taken Joey Porter and not thought twice about it. But no, I don't really like the corner pick because he doesn't have a spot to play right now. I would have liked to see some corners get picked in like the second, third, fourth round. Guys that can sit a year and then come in next year. We'll talk about that later. But so I think, having said all that, guard is the position that comes up then if Mozzie's not there. And it sounds like the Cowboys liked that Bergeron, however you say his name, out of Syracuse. I trust the Cowboys in their early pick. Yeah, their early picks. We're terrible at the mid-round O-line picks. Like, we miss every single time with those. But those early round ones, they usually are pretty good at. So I probably would have gone with the guard there. I tell you, just to throw a wrench out there into it all, Jonathan Mingo is a big old fast wide receiver out of Ole Miss. Just to throw another name out there that we haven't mentioned. Mingo would fit that wide receiver position, and as insurance for Gallup if Gallup isn't the guy that we hope that he is coming off the second year out of that injury. Just to throw another name out there, he would have been interesting. We'll talk about tight end. I'm not going to mention a tight end because we're going to jump into that right now. Rev, you put a tweet out there that was you didn't at me at it, but it was at me. Talking about first round tight ends, and all you people that wanted first round tight ends, this is what you get taking Luke Schoonmaker out of Michigan. So Rev, tell us your thought process on this one, man. Oh, we lost Tweet for a second there. Tweet, you back? There you. So go ahead and weigh in on our tight end pick in the second round there, Tweet. So looking at it, and the player's still on the board, and I was a big proponent of taking a tight end in the first round, as I let everybody know frequently and often. I liked Mayer. I had no idea who the Schoonmaker guy was. Is After the fact, obviously, I've done my research and learned about him a little bit. Willing blocker. Go ahead, ref. Schoon Maker. All right, Luke from Michigan. Got it. Luke from Michigan. Got it, Rev. Thanks for the help. uh, we got Luke from Michigan. So my issue here, a willing blocker. I think you kind of you gave him too much when it comes to blocking. Like, he's a willing blocker. He's not a road grader. He's not a road grader. Yes. Maybe he might be. I mean, he might be better than at everything than what we have in house. We don't know yet. The two guys we have on the roster are both what I would call, again, willing blockers, right? And that's what you want from a tight end. You want a willing blocker, a guy that's going to go out there and at least try. Dalton Schultz. So my issue with the pick is, man, there were some players at positions we need still on the board there. So if we took the tight end because it's a position of need, or we saw it as a position of need, and that's a whole other discussion, by the way. Do the Cowboys not like our in-house guys as much as we, the fans, do? Because we, the fans, seem to like the two that we have in-house a lot, but they still took a tight end in the second, and we're considering taking one in the first. So just keep that in mind when talking about this position, that maybe the Cowboys aren't as high on those guys as we thought they were. But Osiris Torrance was taking the pick after that. Another position of need, guard. We just talked about that. Maybe we could have taken that in the first if Mozzie's not there. 2 out of 3 of us agreed on that. You got Scruggs there from Penn State, the center. Probably the best center in the draft. Could he play guard? Is he better than what we have on the roster? Same talk. Marvin Mims. I can't talk tonight, guys. Marvin Mims, playmaker. That would have been a sexy pick there. Tyler Steen from Alabama in the next round. A lot of people saying he's going to play guard. Drew Sanders was Rev's first round draft pick in our mock draft. Went a few picks later in the third round. Just a lot of talent still on the board there. A lot of talent. Jalen Hyatt, a little later in the third round, still there. Cedric Tillman. I like Cedric Tillman up there. Yeah, a lot of worry that he's a one-trick pony, but man, I'm just looking at Josh Downs. Josh Downs, another playmaker there. Like, a lot of guys could have made an instant impact on this team. Trenton Simpson there, with Drew Sanders at that inside linebacker position. If we wanted to go running back, I like Tank Bigsby there in the third round. Man, just so much talent on the board to like reach for what we didn't see as a need. Cowboys clearly saw it as a need. A lot of these picks in this draft that are, the consensus is that they're reaches, right? And everybody likes the Eagles draft because they drafted the best player on like ESPN's board, right? The Eagles didn't even need to scout this year. They could have just gone off Mel Kiper's big board, just drafted the highest rated player on his big board, which is, I feel, what they did. They didn't have any scouts this year, so everybody loves their draft, of course, because they went with all the talking heads top players instead of doing their own scouting. But in any case, did we need a tight end? Yes. I liked other players better. I am not an NFL scout. I am an NFL fan. I saw almost all of the players I named. I saw play in college. I don't remember anything from Luke from Michigan. Like, I watched several Michigan games. Don't remember anything from him. So that's my opinion on it. We reached. There were players on the board that really could have helped us right now that we didn't take. And I worry that, and I'm going to bring it back around to this and hand this off to you, Rev, to answer. I worry that the Cowboys don't like the tight ends we have on the roster. Are we overrating them? And does this pick say that? Mm-hmm. Athletic. He's athletic, super athletic. Mm-hmm. Well, Tweet's a big fan of that linebacker we took in the third, so I don't think he wants to swap those picks. But Tweet, are we overrating those tight ends that we have? Luke. In Will We Trust? So tweet. Let me. I think we've beat it to death. The tight end thing. We'll find out, man. I'm with you. I think that we've got three of the same guy in there. Hopefully, one can step up, or hopefully the three of them can combine to match Dalton Schultz's output in the passing game and be better blocking. But I want to jump to a guy that Tweet absolutely knows how to say his name. Tweet, talk about our third round draft pick here. Put him in the box. That's all right. Yeah, I don't know. uh, one thing you didn't mention, Tweet, that I after I didn't know much about him. I watched more Texas games than I should have, just because you were watching them and I'd put it on and we'd talk while watching it. The dude made plays, like he jumped off the tape. I said that I watched a bunch of Michigan games and don't remember Luke at all. I definitely remember Overshawn making a lot of plays. But I think something you left off that is surprising from a safety moving to linebacker is that some gun can rush the passer, man. Dude, he can get the heck after them quarterbacks. Like, I didn't know he was a safety that moved down. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about him. He's fast. He's strong. Like I said, I didn't know he was a safety that moved down. I just thought he was a really good linebacker playing back there. But I do remember him. I like this pick. Would I have liked it in the second round? Probably not as much. I was not as big as a linebacker guy as Rev was. Rev, looking back, you took Drew Sanders in the first round. Said you might have liked him in the second round. Do you like this pick here in the third round? Hmm. Yeah, you got him now, Tweet. You got him. You got one on him now. All right, Rev. I saw you tweet about this guy, and I'll say his last name. You can lay the first name on us, Fahoko. And the only reason I know how to say that is because of our wide receiver. You talked about him pretty good in one of your analysis. He reminds me of another guy that we had for a long time. Lay it on us, Rev. We're running short on time, so let's we'll probably have to speed this up a little bit because we definitely want to talk about our sixth round pick. Tweet, you got anything you want to weigh in on that before I'll make my comparison. No San Jose State. Yeah, they do. Oh man. So yeah. So I know you guys will remember a guy. He actually the Cowboys fan base hated this guy. Uh, because he wasn't flashy. He just went in there and did what he was supposed to do. And he played every position on the D line at some point or another. When we drafted this guy, I'll give you his name in a second if you haven't already figured it out. But we drafted him 6'4", 275. Fehoko is 6'4", 276. 33-inch arms on Fehoko. 33-inch arms on this guy. Tyrone Crawford is the name. Played for the Cowboys forever, and we paid him way too much to do what he did for us. But I know that the talking heads out there are making this comparison between the two of them, that they both came in somewhat unathletic. Tyrone Crawford, I saw the bar fight he got into, so if he ever happens to watch this, I don't want to say he's unathletic. So yeah. No. I'm not gonna say he's unathletic. I'm just gonna say he's more towards that than he is towards like a freak like Javon Curse or something like that. But the size, the weight, the athleticism, like all the comparisons are there between the two of them. We took him in the third round, Fehoko in the fourth round. I think, way back in 2012, it was kind of you're seeing the end of guys like Tyrone Crawford. It's when we drafted him, right? The slow, unathletic guys, and we've moved more and more towards the pass. Can Fehoko come in and play that three tech and be a great run stopper next to Mozzie? And we put the two of them inside and let our pass rushers eat outside, and then they eat guards, and our linebackers can run free. I think that is the point of this pick. That this is a three tech that's going to go in there and be a stop the run guy. By everything I read from him, and I have not watched. I didn't watch him play a single play. Maybe I had ESPN on at 3 a.m. one time, and he came on, and I didn't notice. But supposedly he's a great run stopper, one of the better run stopping DNs in this draft, and so we need to stop the run. So everything Tweet said earlier about drafting Mozzie to stop the run, if we could put this guy in there, or even early in his career, and he can go out there and be a run stopping defensive lineman, then I like the pick. Everybody hated Tyrone Crawford, and this is Tyrone Crawford 2.0. If he can give us half the production we got out of Tyrone Crawford when he was here, then it's a successful pick. Rev, you were a big fan of Tyrone Crawford back in the day? The end of the fourth, yep. I don't know that he's one of those guys, but yep. Yeah. So I'm gonna just name our next two picks, and we're gonna skip over them because we're an hour and 10 minutes right now. Asim Richards, offensive tackle out of North Carolina. Eric Scott, corner out of Southern Miss. A lot of talk, a lot of people not liking that corner pick, but I want to make sure that we cover our other 6th round pick here. And Rev, you want to introduce the conversation, man? Yes, yeah. So Asim went in the 5th. Eric Scott went in the 6th, first pick of the 6th round, and then our later 6th round pick. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched the bowl game with Kansas State and Alabama, but Deuce Vaughn, 22 carries, 133 yards. I will say that he had like 80 yards in one catch or in one carry. So take that for what it's worth. The other 21 carries got him 50 yards or so, but that's Alabama's defense that he scored. I'm making up the number 80, but it was a long, long touchdown that he scored against us. And 22 carries against Alabama's defenses. I know our defense wasn't as good as in past years last year, but 22 carries against Alabama's defense, that's 22 hits by NFL caliber players. Just putting it out there, that's one game, right? But it just shows you how fast and that maybe he can carry the load at 5'5", or what was Maurice Jones-Drew? He was pretty short. He wasn't quite 5'5", right? Was he like 5'6", 5'7"? 5'7". A little bit. Yeah, but no, when we were talking, Rev, about first round running backs, and I was arguing against first round running backs, Deuce Vaughn was one of the guys that I mentioned as, a guy we could get mid to late round that I would be okay with. He's not a Tony Pollard compliment though. Like him and Tony Pollard are going to compete over the same carries. Yeah. So there is that. And I also, his immediate impact, and I talked about this on Discord a little bit, like I wonder where he fits on the field early, because it seems like the touches he's going to get early, like Turpin might be the guy to get those now, and they're similar sized guys. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I hope that what you're saying. We didn't utilize weapons in a way we should in the past. And Turpin is one of those guys that I feel like we could have got him the ball in space occasionally. Some maybe in the quick game or something like that. Every time he's in the game, we're just gonna hand the ball to him on a reverse every time. But hopefully we learn to use weapons in a way like where we can take advantage of their abilities. Can you imagine a guy like Turpin with an Andy Reid? Like Andy Reid would find a way to get him the ball in space. We need to do that too. And Deuce Vaughn is going to be a similar type guy, right? So we need to figure out how to get him the ball in space if he's going to have a role on our team. That's the bottom line. I like the pick though. I like the story behind it. I think he's a good football player, and you can't get enough good football players. And he's 5'5", and that's the reason you got him in the sixth round. If the dude was 4 inches taller, he would have been a second round draft pick, right? So you take him where he is because he's 5'5". You figure out a role for him. Maybe he's a 5'5" running back that makes a difference in the league, becomes the next Darren Sproles or something like that. But I like the pick. I like taking football players with these late picks that have something missing like height. So I love this pick. I love the story. I don't know if you guys saw, but and I'm sure you did because you guys watch all the Dallas Cowboys media that they put out too. Did you see the video of his dad talking to him in the hallway before he got picked? Yeah. That's the one that really melted my heart. Him telling, it doesn't matter where we go. It doesn't matter where we go. All that matters is when we hit that football field. Yeah. Yeah. That one got me, and then going straight from that to that moment where he's calling his son and asking him if he wants to come to work with me. Ooh, ooh, right in the feels, right in the feels. They got me in that. Not only like he was obviously his son was upset that he hadn't been picked yet, and he was trying to talk him off the ledge in that talk, and then getting to call him later to tell him that he was drafting him to his football team. Ah, ah. The stuff dreams are made of, right there. That's Disney movie stuff, man. Just awesome. And the fact that he can help our football team, that's even better for us because you know we root on jerseys, not football players. Well, I don't know. Rev still he likes Zeke so much it doesn't matter what jersey he's in, but as long as it's the vet minimum, I am all for it, Rev, and he'll be my new favorite Cowboy. Yeah, come on back, buddy. I like him at that dollar amount much more than 20 million. You're the name guy, man. You're supposed to have these names. Hunter Lupke.
He's a powerful runner. Who's our third down? Who's our blocking back? You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it Ronald? Is it this fullback H-back guy coming in from North Dakota State? It sure enough ain't Deuce Vaughn. And you know Tony Pollard's probably the worst blocking back in the league.
Spread them out, bud. Spread them out. That's why I say maybe the offense is all different, bro. Spread them out.
Yeah, you might be, but I'm just telling you, fullback is in McCarthy's heart. So just look out for that, boys. I'm just letting you know.
Oh man! All right, guys. Tweet. Anything else you want to weigh in on before we get out of here?
Nah, man, it's been fun. I enjoy getting on here and shooting the shit with you guys. Appreciate you guys having me on the stream. And yeah, man, I like you guys said, it wasn't a sexy draft, but I feel like we filled a lot of need in this draft, and it'll be fun going into next season, seeing how they can contribute. So even some of these late round picks that we're excited for, it'll be interesting to see how they're incorporated in the team. But I like the draft overall. I feel like we filled a lot of need. Other than that, man, I appreciate you guys having me.
Any last words, Rev?
Yeah, I just always enjoy Tweet and talking Cowboys football, man. Excited for the draft, man. Football season's right around the corner. I know that
Is it August yet?
we're too much. Yeah, we're ready, man. Training camp is literally it's close. So you know, let's just get through it, man. I'm excited for these players. Yeah, it's definitely you know, my grade is a little bit different than most people's. You know, we got one solid starter coming in, Mozzie, and the rest, you know, look like good future picks. So we'll kind of see how it all works out. Like we say, man, and Will I trust. Love what Dan's doing, and hopefully McCarthy can fix some of that stuff that Kellen Moore was doing and bring some stability to our offense and make Dak a little bit better. No comeback routes, Coach. So get that junk out of there.
I just want to say, like, yo, when McCarthy was fired from Green Bay, there were reports that he was just hanging out with like Jim Haslett and other former coaches, bro, just going over analytics and things like that. And then the Cowboys hire this guy who's been sitting in his parents' barn going over analytics with his buddies for football for 40 hours a week for the last year. Like, and then you bring him in and you have Kellen Moore run the offense. To me, it's just stupid. So I think it'll really be interesting to see what Mike McCarthy's offense looks like this year.
Yep.
Guys,
Yep.
I got one question for you before we go. Weigh in a hurry. Rev, who's winning the NBA championship?
Oh man, I'm gonna go Boston, man. Boston Celtics.
Ooh, an Eastern
That's where I'm going.
team. Okay. Tweet.
Yeah.
Who's winning it?
Suns.
Ooh,
Even though they're
all
down
right.
2-1 right now, the Suns.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna throw a wrench in the whole thing. Give me Golden State to repeat.
Ooh,
I'm sitting here
Ooh.
watching them right now.
Are they winning?
They are winning. They started out down like 9-0. That Lakers hit like back to back threes to open the game. But since then they've kind of turned around.
I
I'll tell
called
you what,
Steve
though.
Curry. I called him up and I told him. I said, "Look, game one, AD went off. I said, boxing one, coach. Boxing. Listen to me. I know what I'm doing. Boxing one, Steve.
Middle school
And they
basketball
just,
champion. Listen up, coach.
I'm just listen. And what do? They ran boxing one. They just played in the paint because the Lakers just don't shoot real great on the outside. Now maybe at home they do, but that's how I would play them. Just put everybody in the paint on defense.
Well, I'll tell you, Rev, who I want to win it all. I want Joker to go out there and win it all, man. I don't know what
That
it
would be,
is.
Yeah, I
bro, if
wouldn't
they
mind that
knock out
either.
the Suns, I hope Joker goes and gets one because
Yeah.
everybody's like he's the greatest superstar to not ever be considered a greatest superstar. And dude's won 2 MVPs. Should have won 3 this year, although Embiid had a hell of a year. But like the most valuable
won it.
player for their team is
Yeah.
Joker. Like that dude's ridiculous, and he does it so nonchalantly. He just jogs
That's
down the
why,
court.
because he looks goofy doing it. That's why, yeah.
Throw me the ball. Look shot, good. Jog back up the court. Play defense. Get a block. Grab a rebound. Take the ball up court. Playing point guard too. Head bobbing side to side. Bruh. Like, if they knock out the Suns, I hope they win it all because Joker deserves a ring just for his head bob. Watch him run up the court, bro.
Oh,
Love it, bro.
man. So
Love
we
it.
got to get Bitches Love Sports back on here to talk about is he the ugliest guy to ever win MVP in the NBA? Because he might be. He might be.
I'd have to look at the other ugly guys that won MVP.
And there's some ugly dudes in the NBA, and he might take the cake for the ugliest dude to ever win MVP.
Mm.
Oh, all right. Great note to leave off on there. I'm going to mention Bitches Love Sports just so that we can ask this question on Twitter. So make sure you guys follow that one to get their opinion. Tweet you weren't here. They talk about athletes' looks along with sports along the way. So we had some great talk with Jazz when she was on here about different players and whether they're attractive or not. So.
I'm seeing her on the Discord, man. I'll have to go give her a follow.
Yeah, she's good stuff. But all right, guys. Thanks a lot. Great talk on the draft. We'll see you next week. See ya.
Appreciate it, guys. Later.